Gilbert and Ben DiNucci during final cuts. That leaves Cooper Rush as Dak Prescott's backup. Cowboys also adding former third-round pick Will Grier off waivers from Carolina. Not a whole lot of experience behind Dak. Not the plan B like they had last year in Andy Dalton. Hey, Chris Broussard, Nick just laughed. The Cowboys quarterback room is blank.
It is crying out for Cam Newton. Screaming for Cam Newton. I mean, you just showed it. Come on. The backups in Dallas now. Cooper Rush has attempted 3 passes in his 3-year career. And Will Grier, the best thing about him is his hair. 4 interceptions, no touchdowns in his 2 NFL starts last year. Come on. I mean, Dak is not injury prone. We know that. However, coming off that ankle injury, the shoulder, who knows if that'll flare up again. If Dak gets injured, their season right now is over. All they did in the offseason, all the defensive draft picks, right? The receivers they have, it is over. All right?
That's correct.
And if they bring in Cam Newton, however, if Dak were to go down, you could salvage the season. I mean, it's realistic to think Cam could step in and you still could win that horrible division and make it to the playoffs and make something out of this season. And with Cam's celebrity and his stature, it won't be a problem in Dallas because Dak is clearly solidified as the starter, Nick. Right.
And we're going to talk more about Cam's future in a minute, so I'm going to assume they're not signing Cam for the sake of this discussion. Before I give my answer, I don't know if it's possible. Can we put that full screen back up? Because that was a remarkable side-by-side of, oh my God. I mean, my man Cooper Rush has thrown 3 passes for 2 yards. For the record, if you just spike the football every play, your quarterback rating is 39.8. So he is essentially just spiking it in his 3 attempts. Somehow, though, Will Grier's worse. Will Grier would have been better if he just spiked it every play because he's sub 39.8 passes. That's a disaster, which is why the Cowboys quarterback room is, wait for it, hanging by a subcapularis. You might say, Nick, what's a subcapularis? And I'd say, well, I'll tell you because I looked it up this morning. It's the muscle right here, which is evidently the muscle Dak Prescott tweaked when he didn't warm up properly. If something happens to Dak and they got to miss a game, and they have to miss a game, they're finished. Like everything Broussard said is true. They have, and you mentioned Cam, the Cowboys last week cleared up cap space by redoing Zeke's deal. I assumed it was because they had a trade for a legitimate backup quarterback in mind. And then Gardner Minshew, who doesn't even make any money, got traded, and it wasn't to Dallas. Why is Gardner Minshew not in Dallas right now? I don't understand that, and I think it is incredibly risky. It reminds me, Jenna, of the last year Romo was there before Dak, when Romo went down and Jerry Jones was like, oh my God, Brandon Whedon is the most gifted quarterback I've ever seen, throws the most beautiful ball. And the Cowboys were 4-12 and terrible. Why? Because they had no backup plan at quarterback. So yeah, if he stays healthy, they're fine. But otherwise, Jenna, it's a disaster. Total disaster.
Shouldn't have gotten rid of Andy Dalton. Hindsight. Broussard said it. Maybe the Cowboys will call this guy Cam Newton. Does he have a future in the NFL, or has he played his last snap? First, his Raiders facility sits. He likes to go to practice. He likes to go home, go to practice. He likes to be here. I get it. You're going to be there for a while. You may as well have a place that you designed right near where you work. But I'm looking at the renderings of this new house. It's a 3-story, 15,000 square foot, $14 million home. And I'm thinking to myself, why does this it look so familiar to me? I've never been to his house before. I don't know Mark Davis. I don't know Mark Davis's architect. And then it dawned on me, his home, just like the facility. Same blueprints. Go home, go to work. Same thing. Wow. Guys, you have to really, 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 really love your job for your house to look just like your office, to work in your office, but it's also really your home, to be in the same place at the same time with your laundry and your pillow. My diary just dropped. And some grapes in the morning with your refrigerator 3 feet away. My conclusion is this. Who knew I keep one at night? Me and Mark Davis had so much and so little in common.
Jenna still writes in a diary?
What can I?
You're a grown woman. You have 2 children.
It's not like
a diary.
It's not like Dear Diary. It's what my workouts are. Ben Simmons wants out of Philly, but can his co-star Joel Embiid be the key to keeping him a 76er, at least for now? Only one goal for America's team. Are the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl hopes resting entirely on that man's shoulders? Right there, Dak Prescott. And the Patriots have moved on from Cam Newton. Has the former MVP played his last snap in the NFL? Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolf, Chris Broussard, Nick Wright. Man, we had some wild weather that passed through New York last night. So many people cleaning up after flash floods, all of it. Kevin Wildes lost power, lost internet, lost his mind. He's hoping to join us shortly, but for now, he's not going to start the show with us, Nick.
Jenna, one silver lining, because my house flooded, basement flooded, total disaster here in Manhattan. But in the mail arrived yesterday. You recognize this, Jenna? The old Bible of the NFL season? Couldn't leave the house, had to hunker down. Oh, yeah. That means it's football season, America. Football Outsiders Almanac in the mail, highlighted 400 pages. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
The first year we started this show, Broussard, Nick brought that book in. I thought he did it as a joke. I laughed for 3 minutes. Yeah. He wasn't joking. He reads it cover to cover.
Not joking.
That is his
annual
thing.
Tradition. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully we get Wildes back with us momentarily. We'll see where we are with that. We got to start though this morning in Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers set to start what could be his last season as a Packer. But hey, at least we're here. We weren't sure if Aaron Rodgers was going to be on the field at all this season, with the rumors swirling about all summer about how unhappy he was. But after restructuring his deal at the end of July, it's been a quiet camp, and it's been a seemingly smooth lead up to Game 1. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst now on his quarterback's involvement in that final roster construction.
Did Aaron Rodgers consult with you, or did you reach out and consult with Aaron about any of the moves you made yesterday?
You know, I've had really good conversations throughout camp with Aaron and Matt, and I think the communication has been really, really good. And so as we went into this kind of decision-making period, I think, everybody, all the people that are kind of involved in that were very aware of what was going on and why we were doing what we were doing. So I feel really good about that. And the conversations that I've had with Aaron have been excellent.
All right, Nick, I know we should appreciate that Aaron Rodgers is here and he's playing and we should just enjoy it, but is there any hope the Packers can still work things out with Aaron Rodgers beyond this season? Dare we look ahead?
Oh, how I've been waiting for this moment since the momentous day this Monday when Chris Broussard officially became a member of the show. I've been waiting for a chance to do this. It's over between the Packers and Aaron Rodgers after this season. There's no saving it. There is nothing anyone's going to be able to do.
Do it again.
I think now official show predictions are coming out Monday. So I don't want to spoil anything, but as I'm inserting the data and trying to figure out who's going to be where, I'm leaning towards the Packers being in the Super Bowl for the first time in a decade with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. But even that, I do not think can salvage this relationship. Broussard, I've gone back at least once and rewatched that Aaron Rodgers press conference dissertation where he very clearly, calmly, and not concisely, because it was rather long, but cogently laid out his reasons for why he was upset, what he thinks happened, and how the relationship has soured between he and the front office. None of that is going to change because Rodgers and the Packers are awesome this year, as